Magandang buhay and shalom. So I'm going to try to post videos at least once a week on every Thursday. So this video is going to be about my home synagogue or sanctuary. The closest place where I can go for a public synagogue is in Makati. It's the closest one. It's a kebab as well as a Sephardic synagogue as well. However, to go there is about a little over an hour drive depending on the flow of the traffic from where I live at. So often it's impractical to go there, especially on Shabbat, when technically we're not supposed to be driving on Shabbat. So how do I pray, or how do I try to follow the Torah, or what is asked of me by God and the Torah as a observant Jew that lives here in the Philippines, pretty far away from the closest synagogue? So I have a home sanctuary or home synagogue, because synagogue is a public place, and this of course is open to my family or whoever wants to use this for prayer or personal reflection, and even for anybody that wishes to come here to pray as well. That's not part of the family or within the community. It's open to them as well. Hence this reason why it's a synagogue, because it's not just closed to myself or to my family. It's open to the public or whoever wishes to use it. So I'm going to show you where I pray at and the home synagogue I have, and let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to show you is called the Bima. This is where the Torah scrolls is often read in public, and this is where the Torah scrolls will sit as it's being read, and this is the Bima. Here is called the Ark, or Aron Kadosh, is where the Torah scrolls are kept at when we read it. Usually it's facing towards Jerusalem, however, is not, because of the way this room is structured, that if I faced it towards Jerusalem, it'd be impractical. So this is the Ark, and often on the Ark you will find above it various artwork. Most common thing that's used is the Ten Commandments, and often they have lions on the side of it as well as a crown representing the kingship of Odinai, of God. And usually right above it or close to it or the front of it is the eternal light. This is kept on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and it stays on. It stays on the entire time. It stays on as a representation of God's presence here in the synagogue, or His presence over the Ark. So this is the one that's over my Ark. And let me go ahead and open up the Ark for you to show you the scrolls. Now these are not kosher scrolls or Sefer Torah, which means that it's kosher or it can be read in public, because it's not written by hand. And one of these days I will go through the laws of how a Sefer Torah is wrote and give you some of the stuff that I have that kind of highlights what I do as a stam sofer. So this is a Torah replica, and as you can see, I bought this in Jerusalem when I was stationed in Egypt, and I was in Jerusalem traveling. And then you just open it up, and then right there is the Torah as it's written. So the layout, the columns and the design, and if you look, the Hebrew has no code, or what they call dots and dashes to show the vowels, like the A, E, I, O, U. You won't find that in a Sefer Torah. So this is similar in that sense that it doesn't have those dots and dashes, but its makeout or layout is in the same fashion that you will find in the Torah, as far as the width, how many columns are on a page, the space between the margins, and so forth and so on. So that's very similar. And right here is a yod. This is what's used when you read the Sefer Torah. So what will happen is, when you read it, you would go from here and you would just read along, and this pointer would just point along what you read as you're reading this in public. Because the parchment, which I will do in another video, is made from animal skin, and the oils on your fingers can over a period of time damage the parchment. So this is a Torah design that's often you will find in Israel. It's a Sephardic tradition, which means it's the Jews that come from the Middle East, Spain area, that originate from there. And here is one that I printed. Again, it's not Sefer Torah. It's more for me to practice reading the Torah, as you can see again, as I unroll it. As again, it's kind of same design. Once again, you will not have the code or the consonant symbols to show A, I, E, O, U. So that's what this is. And in this style is the Ashkenazi style, which again I will show in this video. There'll be a picture of what a Ashkenazi style Torah is. That's what's on the scroll that most people are familiar with. So this is the ark where it stays at, and this is the curtain that just kind of that stays in front of the Torah scrolls. So this is the first part of the ark I have. That's where the Torah scrolls are at, and that's this first part. Then the second part is where I keep all my stamp sofer supplies, what I use to write the Torah with. And I'll go in more details with that in one video, another video. And that's where that's at. It's kept on the bottom. And this is just where I sit when I pray. And so when I pray, I'm actually facing Jerusalem. And as you see, the window's right there, hence the reason why the ark's not right there by the window. But we are instructed that when we pray, we should pray in the direction of Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is in that direction, and that's the direction I pray. So it's still good. So this is the first part. I'll like zoom out a little bit so you can see. This is the first part of the synagogue, and this is another part. This is a part where remembrance of those who usually are members of the synagogue. They have a wall, again, you'll see a photo of it, of members have passed away, and it has their death anniversary, and you will light a light bulb next to their name on the death of their anniversary, more or less to remember them. So this is similar in that it is not that. This is sadly our family that has passed away. So we do something similar in the sense that this family, we light candles for the family that's passed away. I will light the candle here, right here as well. I will just light the candle there. It is for our family members passed away. Then we'll just put the photo of the family that's passed away in the same area, or right here in this area, and we will light the candle for them. And then we'll say the blessing, and so forth and so on. And this here is where I work when I write the Torah. This is my stamp sulfur station. And this is my little library. I usually have more books. I had way more books when I was living in the United States. However, when I moved to the Philippines, the cost of transporting the books was very difficult, so I donated a lot of my books to a public library. So I'm slowly getting the books back together. These are various sidors by various religious groups. You have the this is more of an Ashkenazi style sidor, and then this is a Sephardic sidor as well. So these, and then this one is a Reform, and this one here is for Shabbat sidor, and this is a one that the military uses, the United States Army sometimes. And this is just a book on one of the most common references used in Jewish law as far as what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do. And they're, again, military sidor for soldiers in the United States Army that are Jewish. And then I have other stuff as well. Then this is the Tanakh, which is the whole Jewish Bible, which was the Old Testament and the Christian Bible. And this is the Art Scroll version, which is a more word-for-word translation. This is the Torah as well. It's the same. They're both the same books. This is just the 5 books of Moses, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, Hamas, which is the first 5 books of the Old Testament once again. And this is some reading materials, and then various books, which was given to me by my sister when she came from Israel to come back to the Philippines to live for good. So this is the various books. And then these are just prayer shawls I have, which I've collected, and I bought them while I was in Israel as well. So this is just my small little library. Of course, I plan on to improving it in hopes. Well, that was just a quick video of my home synagogue, and this is where I spend most of my time praying, mostly in the morning. We are supposed to pray 3 times a day. However, I haven't gotten to that point, so I normally mostly pray just in the morning. I'm going to try to work on praying in the evening as well. I don't think I'll ever pray 3 times a day in the afternoon, but I might try to work on incorporating the evening prayers as well. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my home synagogue. So I would love to hear in the comment section a name. So often synagogues have a name. So please provide suggestions of what you think a great name would be for this home synagogue. And I will try to incorporate that, and then we'll name this based upon the most popular names given. So please, once again, thank you very much. If you like these little videos, please subscribe and like and share this video. Thank you very much. Shalom and goodbye.